diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me Michael Hnatkowsky, who's a quarterback out of Muhlenberg College. How's it going, buddy?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's a Monday, hanging in there.
Right.
Why don't you go ahead, just give us a brief history of your overall career.
Yeah, so I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Went to a small private school, the William Penn Charter School in Philadelphia. Was a four-year starter there. Was getting recruited by more of the Ivy Leagues and the Patriot Leagues a little bit. Found myself at Muhlenberg College. By week 4 of my freshman year, I was able to take over that role as a starting quarterback. Since then, I've started every game at the college. I'm a left-handed quarterback, yeah, it's been a great ride so far. We've had a lot of success the past couple of years.
Well, I mean, I know some guys aren't really big on the left-handed quarterback for whatever reason. Like, you guys kind of get shafted sometimes, I feel like I've already interviewed a decent handful of lefties. It's kind of an interesting thing. I mean, they just kind of get pushed down to a lower level for some reason. I don't get it.
I don't know.
But hey, man, obviously, you've had actually a good long stretch of being a starter there at Muhlenberg. I mean, what was the thing that I had in my notes? You have 97 career touchdowns so far in 3 years. That's just crazy. 46 of them being this past season, which is just phenomenal. You guys going 13-1, getting to the semifinals of the playoffs. I mean, obviously had a great season altogether. I mean, unfortunately, that last game was a loss, but I mean, hey, I mean, when you're facing the guys that will eventually go on to win the championship, I mean, kind of makes you feel a little bit better. It's not too bad of a loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hey, I was just going to ask you, what kind of a quarterback are you besides a lefty? I mean, are you a mobile guy? Are you a pocket passer, a gunslinger? How would you define yourself? Talk to me just a little bit about that, and maybe if there's a player in the league that maybe you would compare yourself to.
Yeah, I consider myself more of a pocket passer. I feel I'm athletic enough to extend plays when need be, but I feel really comfortable when I'm within the pocket making my throws. And then when it comes to a player, I think that I relate to myself is someone like Drew Brees, in the fact that he's not always the biggest guy in the world, but he finds ways to win. He likes to stay in the pocket, can extend plays when he needs to, but he makes it look effortless within the pocket, and that's something that I try to do as well.
You also have that Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
You have that look going on with his beard and stuff. So I mean, I don't know if you just maybe haven't shaved in a couple of days, But that's another thing. Another player that comes to mind is all. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that cool to compare you to him too?
It is, and I would agree with it. When Baker was in college, he was extremely accurate. He extended plays when he needed to. He still does. And he was a Heisman Trophy winner. I think that's high praise wherever you're at.
Gosh, you're just teasing you a little bit because maybe you haven't shaved or whatever this morning. But hey, man, what do you believe is the best part of your game? That you bring to the table, as a quarterback.
Yeah, I think my intermediate to short game is something that we do really well here at school. It's something I feel that I do really well at. Our offense is, I guess, more of a dink and dunk, West Coast type style offense, and just being able to complete passes and keep the chains moving is something that I take a lot of pride in. Something I do very well.
Well, and I mean, you've also been a team captain there for at least 2 years. Are you going on the third year or no?
This season would have been my second. I was voted captain in the spring of my sophomore year. So my junior full season, and then it would have been this year, and then next year. But I don't know if this year just because of not being able to play. But yeah, I've been a 2-year captain right now.
Cool. So talk to me about that. I mean, what does it mean to be the captain, and really what kind of a leader are you?
Yeah, being a captain for the Muhlenberg football team is a big deal for me. Our team votes, so it has nothing to do with the coaches or outside people. So being able to be voted as a junior, really as a sophomore at the time, was something that I took a lot of responsibility and took a lot of pride in. And then I think when it comes to being a leader, I like to lead by example, whether it's, in the film room, in the weight room, on the field, at practice, just kind of showing how I operate during the day. And hopefully that's how people can follow the lead. And, I think it's been pretty successful the last couple of years, but yeah, I'm a lead by example guy. If I need to get vocal, I have no problem doing it, but I prefer leading by example.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just kind of going to ask you about this off season. I mean, obviously this off season has just thrown a huge curveball into our plans with COVID and stuff. So what's your situation been like? And if there's any part of your game that you're actually trying to improve upon, talk to me about that as well.
Yeah. So the part of the game that I've been really improving on is really just my leg strength, my core strength, and my speed. Throwing a football is not all about just how strong of an arm you have, but more it's a full body movement. And just being able to get that stronger. I personally have seen some pop come off the ball that I haven't seen prior to really working these movements. And then speed. The NFL and every other level is continually to get faster. Every time you jump up a level, it's significantly faster. So in order to continue to work on my strength and my speed is something that I've been really working this off season.
Gotcha. And during all this coronavirus quarantine business, have you had access to a gym? I mean, have you been able to practice?
We have, yeah. So during the quarantine, I was able to throw with a receiver from Widener, James Gillespie. He's an All-American. He's from our area, so we were able to connect and really get a lot of good throwing sessions in with a couple younger guys from the area. And then when it comes to weightlifting, yeah, I'm up living in Allentown right now at school, and all the guys that are living off campus, we're all members to a gym up here, and we've been able to get a lot of good sessions in the weight room as well.
Cool. And what's been maybe one of your most memorable plays or games so far in your career? You want to maybe just fill me in on maybe a highlight or so?
Yeah. So this past year we had a ton of highlights, but I think the game that everyone will talk about for a long time was the Johns Hopkins game. They've been dominant in our conference. I believe at one point they were 40-0 in the conference the last 4 years. So for us, being able to just come out, was at our place, to really win that football game in somewhat demanding fashion was something that we took a lot of pride in, not only for us, but for our alumni. And then just a few other games. I was fortunate enough to play pretty well in a couple other games. Franklin and Marshall, I had 17 of 18 with 5 touchdowns. National Player of the Week. Moravian was a rivalry game, the game to really solidify our undefeated season, the last game of the season. Again, threw for 5, called a 2-point conversion within the game. So those are the games that are pretty memorable for me, especially last season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously going out there, being able to, put up 4 and 5 touchdowns a game. I mean, you don't get the 46 touchdowns that easy. So, I mean, you guys actually were able to go out there and do that. Again, you were, offensive player of the year in your conference, and obviously going out there and really putting, getting over your opponent in your conference is really an awesome feeling. I mean, I know that sometimes that's even more important than those games where you're laying down 50 points on guys. So I mean, being able to beat those rivalries is definitely definitely something to hang your hat on. So I have in my notes, Michael, that you were a basketball player in high school, and also did a little bit of track and field. Talk to me about that. I mean, have those experiences really helped you on the football field?
Yeah. I think basketball is really important because it's all about quickness in basketball. I think, your first step in basketball is almost as important as your first step getting out of the pocket in football. It's got to be quick. It's got to be instinctive. In basketball, to blow by somebody, you have to be a little bit quicker than them. And in football, in order to not get touched, you got to be a little bit quicker than the guy trying to get after you. And then, track and field, it was important because it really taught me how to run. And, for 3 months when you're sprinting every day, you're naturally just going to get a little bit faster. And I think those two sports in those aspects have really helped me on the football field.
And just I was sitting here thinking about you, like as a youngster in high school. Is there any sort of advice that you might be able to give that guy? Like if you were able to go back in time a little bit, maybe 16, 17 years old, what would you tell that guy?
Yeah, I think from an athlete's perspective, I would tell him to continue to work, particularly in the weight room and at your craft and in any sport. I think the weight room is very important. Continue to work on your body, continue to get faster, continue to get stronger, because there's always somebody out there that's a little bit stronger, a little bit faster than you. And then as a person, I think just continue to respect people. I think, at 16, 17 years old, sometimes you may think you're too cool for some people or whatnot. And I would just say to respect everybody. You never know when you might need someone's help down the line. And, there's never a downside to always have respect for others.
Awesome. So let's just chat about you, like as a student now, and really just you just in general, like off the football field. Realize that you're a business administration major with a focus in management. Talk to me about your situation there at Muhlenberg, like you being a student.
Yeah. So I work really hard in school. School doesn't come extremely easy to me, but through hard work, I have a pretty solid GPA. I'm going to graduate on time. Just continue to work hard like I do in football, in the classroom is something that I take a lot of pride in. The business program at Muhlenberg is pretty challenging. It's a hard class, hard business program, but it's something, like I said, I take a lot of pride in the classroom. And moving forward, I've had an internship the last 2 summers, so it's football doesn't happen to work out. Being able to have a job for the next 4 years is something I look forward to.
And are there any other things about you that maybe not everybody knows, like any interests, hobbies, or passions that you really want to, let guys know, like in this video? Yeah,
I'm a pretty simple guy. I like to hang out with my family and friends. I guess the one thing that I like to do that not many people know is I enjoy surfing. So my family has a house down the shore, the Jersey Shore, and yeah, it's just kind of like my little getaway. My 2 sisters and I like to go out there during the summertime, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much the complexity of what I do outside of school and football.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, getting on the water. I mean, shoot, I feel like I didn't do that much this year. With being stuck in quarantine and whatnot. So hopefully next summer. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But hey, let's give a little bit of love to some people. Let's give some shout outs to some guys that have really just kind of helped you along the way. Talk to me maybe about some of those mentors.
So I've been really fortunate. Like I said, I've had a lot of people in my corner for a really long time. First and foremost, my parents. Without them, obviously, none of this would be happening. They molded me and my 2 little sisters into the human beings that we are today, and I can forever grateful for them. And then just my coaches from high school. Chris Rahal, our offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. Tommy Coyle was our head football coach at Penn Charter, and they really grew me from a 15-year-old kid to a 19-year-old young man. And they really were a big facet in my growth as a person and as a football player. And they guided me to Muhlenberg College. And then at Muhlenberg College, the list goes on and on. But from Mike Donnelly, who we unfortunately lost my freshman year of college, was our head coach, to Coach Mellon, who's now our head coach, all of our assistants, all of our coordinators, and then our players. Without them, obviously, none of this would be even remotely possible. They make my job really, really easy. I've been really fortunate to play with a lot of really good football players, and just without them, like I said, none of this would ever be possible.
Good. And just briefly, if you don't mind, talk to me about a couple of those teammates. I mean, obviously, you guys did a fantastic job really over the past several years. Who there has really just impressed you over the years?
Yeah. So last year we had 3 All-Americans. So I'll start. Our right tackle, Ryan Malarkey, was an All-American. Just a great leader on the field. He was my blind side, so we had a pretty special connection to that. Just an all-around great person, all-around great football player. Ryan Curtis was a 3-time All-American tight end. He made my job extremely easy. He was a matchup nightmare for a lot of teams. Too big for safeties and corners to guard, and he was just too fast for linebackers to guard. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Frankie Feaster was the first all-unanimous All-American from Muhlenberg College. So he was first team in all the polls last year, All-American defensive end. Just a special talent. Just competed every day at practice, and it really made us better as a unit.
I mean, hopefully I can get Frankie on one of these interviews. That'd be a whole lot of fun. I just think he's got like the best last name, Feaster, because I mean, as a defensive player, it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm feasting on these guys. It's just funny. Anyway. Hey man, as we begin to wrap up, I try my best to ask this question to everybody. It's really just the why question. So talk to me about why you play football, and maybe just add a little bit of your motivation.
Yeah. So I said earlier, but football for the guys at our levels, particularly at the Division III levels, is really for the love of the game. We love football. That's why we're playing it. We're not playing in front of 100,000 people in Happy Valley or in these crazy venues, but we get to play for 4 more years, and it's something that we take a lot of pride in, and something that we really love. We just the love of the game is something that it's there. And then motivation. I guess motivation is just because, just being able to do this for 4 more years after high school. Not a lot of people from where we are in Philadelphia, Northeast Philly, go off and really play college football for 4 years and really go off to college. So I guess that's my motivation right now is, to kind of do something a little different and just hopefully bring a more positive impact when all this is done.
And very last thing for you, Bud, is just give me a pitch to a professional team. I mean, why should they take a chance on you? Why should, if they signed you, what sort of a teammate would they be getting?
Yeah, you're going to get a great teammate. I take a lot of pride in the hard work that I put into things. I'm a hard-nosed, put my head down, just go to work, paper brown bag, everyday lunchbox type deal. And that's just how I've been raised. But I think the type of teammate you're going to get is a supportive teammate, a guy who's going to push people, a guy who wants to learn. I take a lot of pride in learning. I think learning is very important in any aspect of life. But just continuing to work hard and really just go to work every day. That's the type of person, the type of player you're going to get.
Great. I mean, again, probably one of the best quarterbacks at the Division III level. Again, just kind of going back at, some of your success over the past few years, even going back to last year. I mean, obviously going, really only having 1 loss, having 46 touchdowns, which is just a phenomenal year altogether. Definitely a guy that I feel teams really need to get to know. I mean, even though you are Division III, quarterback, I mean, I feel like you do have a little bit of potential. I mean, if you're able to get on somebody's radar, get on someone's practice squad, I mean, who knows what can happen. So, but hey, man, I do wish you best of luck moving forward. I realize that we're on opposite ends of the fence when it comes to fan base, but it's all good, man. Like, we could sit and we could chit chat and have a little bit of fun and really enjoy each other with these interviews. But in all seriousness, man, I do appreciate our time together.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate just taking the time to speak to me this morning. I really do appreciate it.
No doubt. Again, this is Michael Hnatkowsky, quarterback, Muhlenberg. Check him out.